Hi, my name is Mrs. Hrusovsky, and I wanted to thank you for attending Follow the Schedule Night. Here you're going to find out the important information about 8th grade science. I wanted to begin by introducing myself and giving you some information about me. This is my 4th year teaching, all in the Mentor School District. I began with my student teaching at Shore Middle School and then completed one full year following that. The past 2 years I've spent at Memorial Middle School teaching 7th grade science, and then this is my first year back at Shore teaching 7th and 8th grade science. I just got married this past summer to Mr. Hrusovsky, who teaches health and PE at Shore. In my free time, I spend a lot of time coaching volleyball. I coach the 8th grade volleyball team at Memorial Middle School, and I coach a national level volleyball team at Eastside Volleyball Club on Tyler Boulevard. I've grown up in the Mentor schools, attending Ridge Junior High and graduating from Mentor High in 2006, so I've always been a Cardinal my entire life. As far as class materials, there isn't too much that we expect the kids to bring each day. The main thing is we want them to bring their iPads charged and ready to go. As we have gotten going and they've seen that it's important that they have their headphones every day, I do have 4 extra pairs in the classroom, but it's important that they bring their own if possible. They will still need a folder because we will still have worksheets and other things that they will need to put in there, and then obviously a pencil. If by chance a student forgets their iPad, they do have a couple in the library that can be loaned out, but this is only for rare circumstances. If for some reason they need their iPad charged, I have discussed with the students that I am more than happy to charge them, but they need to do that before school or during lunch. With the iPads in the new classrooms, we do understand that this is a learning curve for both the students and the teachers. Even in the first short couple weeks, we have already found some glitches with technology or apps that haven't gone the way we wanted them to. 100% we understand that this is new. Things are going to be different than what they're used to in the past. I want them to know that I support them and I'm here for any help that they might need. When they come into the classroom every day, it's not that they just go right on their iPads. Instead, when the bell rings, they always begin class with the iPad face down. This is when I'll make any announcements or give any instructions that they need to know for the day. As mentioned earlier, it's important that the iPads are charged. We do use them in almost every class, although sometimes it might only be for 5 minutes, sometimes it could be the whole period. It just depends on what we have planned for the day. The chairs and desks are all new. They are on wheels to promote easy movement so that we can put them in groups and work through stations. Soon the chalkboard in the back and the corkboard on the side will be a dry erase board as well for students to work on. Some of the apps that the students will use quite often are Schoology, Google Drive, Socrative, and a QR code reader. There are a lot more that we've already used this school year, but these are ones that they use regularly. I will provide some copies of Remind. This is a way that you could sign up to have important messages sent directly to your phone. You can download the app or you can have them set to your phone as text messages. All of the students put this app on their iPads, but it's an option to put on their phone as well. No numbers are exchanged, and it's a safe way for teachers to send important announcements or information directly to iPads or phones. Sometimes students will finish work early. The first thing they should always do is make sure that they have all work completed in all classes. After that, school-appropriate games can sometimes occasionally be allowed. The big piece that we are focusing on in this class is that there should be no social media. This includes messaging, any picture apps, or Twitter, for example. One of the most common websites and apps that we will use in class is Schoology. This basically acts as our class website. On here they can find their agenda for the day, any notes passed out or used in class, videos explaining all notes or lessons, discussion board posts, tests, and more. Here is an example of what Schoology might look like for a user. When they first log in or enter their app, they will see these file folders listed. And agendas are basically what we are doing that day. Once they open that folder, they can see that they're going to be separated into months. So for example, if we go into the September folder and click on Monday, this will show what we're doing in class. This will not only benefit the students if they're absent, but it also helps for them to prepare for what they're expected to do that day. Back in the materials folder, they can find a couple other things that will be of use. Assignments where we will post for things that need to be completed in class. They will always provide the directions and any helpful websites. Back in the materials folder, they can also find discussions, The discussions folder will be used quite often during class. A lot of times it's used to reflect on a assignment or a project or an activity that was completed in class. It's also sometimes used to preview something that we will be learning in class coming up. Students can make their post and then see what their classmates have posted as well. We really talk about the importance of being respectful while in a group discussion like this. Also in the materials folder will be their tests and quizzes. Almost all of their tests and quizzes will be completed online. The biggest reason for doing this is because it allows us to give instant feedback. The students now know their score before leaving the classroom instead of receiving it a week or two afterwards. Finally, two areas of importance for parents as well are the Files, Links, and Notes folder and the Videos folder. The Videos folder will always have video notes for everything learned in class. For example, both of these notes are narrated and they show the slides of the notes and have either my voice or the other 8th grade science teacher's voice narrating them. Back in materials, you can also find just a regular PDF or regular copy of the notes as well. These are very helpful if a student doesn't understand the material and wants to either re-watch it or go over it again, but it's also helpful for students that are absent. The last important piece about Schoology is because of the easiness of taking their assessments online, it now helps them to retake them if necessary. For example, if a student doesn't do well in an assessment, it used to be that sometimes a teacher would just move on. Now, because it is so much easier for them to access the material, we can help them to relearn it. They can then retake it and receive instant feedback. Students in here are going to be able to do this often. If they are not happy with their original score, we will go back, help them with the material, and they can take it again. Next week, we'll be passing out parent codes so that parents can access Schoology as well. The gradebook will be set up into two sections, summative and formative. 80% of the student's grade is summative. This just means things that kind of wrap up a unit or a section. This would be tests, projects, or final labs. 20% is formative. These are quick quizzes, activities, mini labs, or homework that is given along the way. There are only a couple extra pieces of information that I want to share with you. One of my biggest rules or expectations in this class is respect. I talk to the students often about how it's important for them to be respectful to their peers, the equipment, and the classroom itself. If we have 3 issues, it will then be a detention. I have gotten all of your emails and I will make sure that I email you any important information along the way. Once you are able to access Schoology, this will be a great way for you to see anything important or any announcements coming up. Currently, I am available in the mornings for help. I usually get to school right around 7 a.m. and would be happy to provide assistance for any student that needs it. Once volleyball season ends, I will be available more often after school. If you need to contact me in any way, email or Schoology would be the best way and the quickest way to get in contact with me. If you have any questions or any concerns at any time, please do not hesitate to contact me. I am looking forward to working with you and your son and daughter throughout the school year. Thank you for coming.